I told you that you could have shrimp and pimento cheese grits, and you know, of course, fried green tomatoes, we've already made that in another video, but the shrimp, you would swear, like, bet money on it that it's actually shrimp, because the texture and the taste and everything is just like shrimp, only you didn't accidentally get a shell and there's no, well, poop shoots you have to worry about. Look how yummy this is, and it's all plant-based, whole food, oil-free, and slap your mama good. Let's begin our trail down the southern culinary track. I don't know where I was going with that. Let's begin. Hey y'all, how about today? Plant-based foodies on. How to make them. Let's begin. Okay, now to begin with, this is kind of like a two-part thing. You're gonna start with your Instapot, and I'm actually got it going behind me because I need the space to make the shrimp. So the key to this is you have to use the stone ground grits. If you buy the instant grits and all those little packets of grits and different things like that, it's not gonna work. Those are ground too fine. So kind of like your steel cut oatmeal, it's a little tougher, it takes a little bit. The steel cut good grief, the stone ground grits are what you need. You probably cannot find them at Walmart. I think we actually got this in Alabama or Mississippi when we were traveling through, but you can get them at places online, Amazon. So you're going to start with 1 cup of your grits. My dog is digging at my feet. I don't know why. To your Instapot. And then to that, you're going to add 3 1/4 cups of water. So there's 2 cups. And 1 1/4 cups. And then to that, you're gonna add like, this is about a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, and a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. You don't have to use those. You can adjust accordingly to your likes and tastes. Just give that a little stir. And then you're gonna put it on manual in your Instapot for 10 minutes, and you're gonna let the steam release naturally until it's done. So that does take like another, 15 minutes or so. And it's going to come out kind of like our steel cut oats do, where it looks like it's really watery, but when you mix it, it'll all mix in and be yummy. Okay, so now we're gonna be using oyster mushrooms again, which you know are these weird little cluster things. And ideally, you would use just the stems, how like vegans use them to make like scallops and stuff, to make the shrimp. Unfortunately, after stopping at 3 different stores, these are the only oyster mushrooms that we could find. And so, but actually it's gonna work out okay, because if you look, the littler ones kind of already has this shape of a shrimp. Normally you would take the stalk, cut it like you would a scallop, and then kind of yin-yang cut it to make it look like a shrimp shape. But we're just gonna use the whole stalk because it's gigantic. And actually, there's a little cut here. See, that's how you would make a scallop from the stalk, and then you would just kind of cut it around, sort of like that. to make it kind of shrimpy shaped. But anyways, you're gonna soak it in warm water for at least 15 minutes. Oh, let me stop all these little baby guys. Then, I'll show you the next part in just a second, but I wanted to show you this before going. So some of mine, the littler ones, you won't have to shape because that almost looks like a little shrimp, doesn't it? So, I'm gonna soak that in the water. Warm water. Did I say that? I think I said that. While we prepare everything else. So I'm gonna get these all cut, the little strips, aren't they cute? And see y'all in just a few minutes. So now we have all our little shrimp sitting in warm water. And so you're going to take 1.5 cups of your unsweetened, unflavored plant milk. And to that, you're going to whisk in 1 teaspoon of apple. Steve obviously put that lid on last. 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. And then a flax egg. So keep that in mind as you're making this. You need to have this sitting, you know, kind of ahead of time. Actually, I'm not real happy with how congealed that is. Yeah, so I'm gonna let that sit a little bit while we do this other part. So, and then in another bowl, you're going to take just some all-purpose flour. This is 3/4 cup. And to that, you're going to add, this is 1/4 cup of cornstarch. A lot of people don't realize that cornstarch and things like that, like particularly like potato starch, they really cause things to brown and get crispy and pretty. Bet you didn't know that. And then you're gonna add your seasonings. So this is just kind of like what we like. It is salt and pepper and garlic powder and onion powder, a little bit of Tony's, and that's really about it. It's kind of how you like it. So our ratios are 1 tablespoon of onion powder and garlic powder. I don't know, about 1/2 teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of salt, about 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, and about 1/8 to 1/4 teaspoon of Tony's sachet. So when that goes, and then you're just gonna give that a whisk. Mix that all up. So now my flax egg is a little more congealed. I'm gonna add that. You could probably use an egg replacer. My parents use egg replacers all the time, but I feel like I already buy so many different things. I don't want to buy something else. So you can give this a whisk. And now you're going to add your dry to your wet. So basically we're making a batter, okay? And you want to get everything really incorporated, but you want to be very careful not to over mix it. And now you're going to take, this is just 2 cups of panko breadcrumbs. And then this is 1/2 cup of rice flour. And the recipe I found for this, it actually called for white rice flour, and all I had was brown rice flour, but whatever. So you're going to take your shrimp, word used lightly, right y'all? I have lots of room to show you all this. From the warm water, and you're going to press it into your flour, and then you're gonna put it into the batter and let any excess drain off, and then you're gonna have to really like press it into the panko, okay? That's it. You can put this in the air fryer if y'all do oils, which I don't know why you'd watch me if you eat oils, because I feel like I make it complicated for you if you do eat oils. You can deep fry them, you can bake them in the oven, different things like that. So just to show you, take our little shrimpy stem. Our grits are done. Just gonna really press it into that flour. And then, have a wet hand and a dry hand, y'all. Get it in your batter. And then press it into your panko. Really press that on there. there you have it. It kind of already almost looks like a little shrimp, doesn't it? I don't know if you can see that very good. Anyways, set it aside. We're gonna keep working on this. See y'all soon. So when you're done, you'll have like a whole bunch just like this. Again, you can put them in the oven, just kind of rotate them, and put them in the air fryer, or if for some crazy reason you're still on the oil train, which you shouldn't be, you can deep fry them. So I'm gonna put these actually in my air fryer and get back with y'all in just a few minutes. Okay, so after all this steam has released naturally from your grits, I know you probably can't like see inside of there, but there's like water standing on top. So you're gonna think, oh no, I messed up. Get a whisk. Get something to hold the pot because it's hot. Whisk it in there so you don't get lumps. And if it's still a little too runny for you, you can use the saute option of your Instapot to cook it a little bit longer and help it absorb some of that extra liquid. But I think this is just about right. So now you're gonna add a half a cup of plant milk to it. If you're one of those vegans that uses the processed vegan butter, you can add some of that to that. It's white. My dog is growling at me. White processed butters if you don't have to process foods. And then now to this, we're going to add some of our nutty parm that we make in another video. I don't know, this is probably a tablespoon. Mix that up. So now, taste it, make sure it's salty enough. Hot. Y'all, let's do it. So, there you have just your yummy, delicious grits. Now to really amp this up and make it delicious, our previous video we made pimento cheese, and there's this place in Memphis that Steve and I like to go to called SOB, South of Beale. How fun is that? It's kind of like a gastro pub. But they have pimento cheese, shrimp, and grits that I used to always order, and kind of got a hankering for them. So I thought I could recreate that. And so we're gonna take our grits and we're gonna take our pimento cheese and add it to that. And then, I don't know if you can hear my air fryer, but the air fryer is going, making our shrimp, and then I'm gonna show y'all how we assemble this in just a second. Okay, oh, also, say the top, let me show you this. So, the tops of my mushrooms that I cut off to use the stem for the shrimp, these are delicious, and this is what we use for like our fried fish or fried oysters. Don't waste that, save them, fry them up if you want to right now, bake them, put them in the oven, or put them in the refrigerator with some water, and they'll keep for a day or two, and you can have fish 2 days, shrimp 1 day, fish the next. So, I'm gonna check on my shrimp, and then I'm gonna show y'all how we assemble all this together in just a second. So you're gonna take about, really it's your own taste, but this is probably a half a cup of my pimento cheese that I make. It's literally the last video I made. Give that a stir. And if it loosens up your grits too much, adding that, you could totally, again, turn on the saute. And this is why you don't want to like really over salt or pepper your grits, because that pimento cheese has a lot of flavor in it already. So now, I'm going to show y'all how we plate it. Scoop some of it up. We like these kind of bigger, more shallower bowls because you can make things prettier. So, put some grits in there. See how delicious that is, y'all? Then, take our yummy, Steve is over there manning the air fryer, but look at that little shrimp. It looks just like a shrimp. It tastes just like a shrimp. Put some of those on there, on your grits. Totally use these little guys and make like a poor boy sandwich. You know me and my poor boys. Some little shrimps on there. And then my fried green tomatoes that I make in another video too. It's a wonderful side to go with this. And there you have it. Yummy, delicious shrimp and pimento cheese grits and fried green tomatoes. And I'll tell y'all, it doesn't get more southern than that. Maybe some collard greens would up the southern level. That's it. So be sure to like and subscribe and share and try the recipes. I really want y'all to try them because they're so good. Be blessed, y'all. Thanks.